And my two bigger kids go down there. I'm up there with the toddler playing in the stream. Oh, look, Leaf down the stream. And then I look back over my shoulder, and that old woman's walking up looking at me and going, and walks by, and her husband's going, the old man's going. Like that, and I'm thinking, no, don't be paranoid. This can't be happening. And then the other family comes back, and the wife's going, they're not supposed to be down there. They're not supposed to be in there. No, boys. And the guy pulls out his iPhone and starts taking pictures of me and my kids, and is sitting there going, they've got these, what's the thing we showed? It's a big website the government promotes where you tattle on environmental crimes. New website allows you to tattletale. And it's not even things that are crimes. It's leaving lights on in businesses. Remember we showed that about 2 months ago? And I don't know what he was doing. He was taking, and I'm not going to have a confrontation. I know the creek goes on down, so I get my kids and I go further down into the woods. There's nobody around here. I can be here on the side of the path and let my kids sit there by the stream, and which is everybody does, except this body snatcher day they weren't. There's no rule against it. And here comes the old lady again. She's following me, and then she'll walk past, and she's off in the woods looking at me, and they're talking. And then some more yuppies come by with their kids, and I try to talk to them. You know, they stop right beside me, and I'm like, oh, look, pretty streams, a lot of rain this year. And they're like, are you allowed to be in the stream? And now it's really getting weird. And I didn't talk about it, but about a month and a half ago, I was at the Port Aransas jetty, and it's concrete paved about half the way out. I mean, it's like walking down a sidewalk. And it's my mom, my dad, my wife, and my 3 children, and I've got the toddler on my shoulders, except when she wants to walk, we'll let her down. And it's a still beautiful day. Pelicans are fishing, catching fish, and it's just so beautiful, and we're out there. And people keep walking by going, is it safe to have that child out here? And after the 3rd or 4th time, I said to a lady, it was always women, I said, ma'am, do you see all these other people out there with kids? My dad would take me out here. This is a jetty. People come out here and fish. It's a giant granite jetty, concrete paved. I'm taking my kids out. I've got it on my iPhone. We ought to load that up and show it with pelicans flying around, white and brown pelicans. And it was so clear you could see sea turtles swimming around. Dolphins were everywhere. I mean, it was just beautiful. And then my toddler tends to fall asleep at about noon. She's not really taking naps every day now, but around noon. So she's on my shoulders. We're walking back the 150 yards or so on the jetty. And it's a beautiful sunny day, and she's conked out, falls asleep with her head resting on my head. And people start running over going, is she okay? Did she get hurt? And my mom's been noticing this. She jogs on the hike and bike trail, and she has a French bulldog, and they naturally have bobtails. And she has people say to her, but like she's not human. They'll run by and go, what did you do to her tail? Or what did you do to its tail? And this happened a few times when I had a dog who got out of the fence. He's dead now. Helmet, German Shepherd, Irish Setter mix. I had him back in college. He died just a few years ago. And he got out under the fence, got hit by a car, and I knew he had escaped, so I was running out looking for him, driving around, found him about half mile away, laying up on the sidewalk, bleeding, hit by a car. And I took him to the vet. They wanted to amputate his leg, thought he would die. I said, no, don't amputate it. I'd give him massages and stuff, and most of the leg came back, and he'd swing it when he ran. I mean, it got, so this would happen, and they'd say, oh, what's wrong? Is there something in his paw? Did you do it? Did he hurt you? See, these are control freaks, and they're all environmentalists, you'll also notice, because they have to say everybody is bad. Yeah, it's called EcoSnoop, ecosnoop.com. EcoSnoop is not Big Brother. And then it's got them tattling on everyone. There it is on screen. Good job finding that so quickly, guys. In fact, you might want to pull up some of their videos where they're tattling. They're going, I'm here at this rest stop, and it looks like these bushes are untrimmed. That is environmentally bad. I mean, there's hundreds of videos on there of the eco-snooping. But it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Oh, you hurt your dog. Oh, you hurt your kids. I mean, you yell at your kids now, they call the police on you. And I know I'm digressing, but this is an important subject. And We are a mentally ill, domesticated, TV head population where these yuppies are so uncomfortable being in nature, and they're just going around. And I guess it's because I'm in a good mood, because I noticed they were all real quiet and upset, and the women were all bossing their husbands and kids around. And I just see that everywhere now. It's an upside-down world with these crazy, neurotic, they're on Prozac, their kids are on Ritalin, and the old lady's a weirdo, and her husband's walking behind her like she's the Queen of England. And I notice all these men walk behind their wives. And I remember when I dated a lot of different women in college, some would get mad because I'd be walking in front of them and I'd open the door for them, but I'm the boss. And I'm not telling them what to do, but of course there's a lot of women that's what they like. But I mean, it's the opposite. It's the woman is the boss, and the woman decides everything. And then the women are so unhappy because that's not the order of things. This is not what they like deep down, but this is what they believe. And these men, the men did not talk, only the women talked. And by the end, I was walking by groups and just waiting to hear a man talk. And the women were all shouting orders and, rah, 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 and bossing people around. Oh, bring that baby down here. Don't, just nuts. I talk to friends of mine and things that are having trouble with their wives or girlfriends, and I say, look, have you tried being the man? And some of them try, and they go, my God, my wife's happy now. I mean, that's how it works. I'm not going to, again, these women would love to run death camps. They'd love to take your property. They'd love to take your house. They're a bunch of sick freaks, and their men are a bunch of sick freaks. And he was going to satisfy his wife. I thought, he's not taking photos of my kids down there, because I'm looking at him. And then he looks at me and they're talking about us. So they're not supposed to be down there. They're not supposed to, but they don't address you. It's like some weird cowardly thing. Like if they just, look, there it is. Gas station with lots of lights on during the day. You notice it's totally rainy and dark out there, so they automatically kicked in because you need to have light. It's a dark day, but it says, oh, looks like dusk. The ground is wet. You can see storm clouds off in the distance. So the automatic lights kick on, and they're, oh my gosh, call the police immediately. The green police, na na na. Remember that? And we laugh about this, but listen, it got worse. It got worse. And I'm getting all the news. About twice a week, when I take my kids out, I'll get them a roll of Lifesavers. It's got corn syrup, but it's a treat. I go in this big, nice gas station in our neighborhood, and I'm sitting there going, is this all your gum? Because every brand. And they've got one brand of bubble gum that doesn't have aspartame, which is the feces of a genetically engineered bacteria. And I'm going, hey, man, this has all got aspartame. But you guys get some stuff in the store. As a consumer, I'm supposed to talk to fellow humans and communicate at the market, and the guys are all fans behind the counter. Day, night shift, doesn't matter. And I'm sitting there, and I'm saying, and I've got toddler on my hip. I got my two kids, stay right here, busy parking lot out there. They're going, I want this, I want that. And I go, look, honey, this has aspartame that a genetically engineered bacteria creates. The Pentagon developed it in 1968. Rumsfeld got it approved in 81. It's a chemical weapon that's also very addictive. And some guy goes, oh, come on, who's buying a 12-pack of beer at the checkout counter. He's like, oh, come on. And I went, no, sir. When you get home, Google aspartame manufacturing process. And I said, look, every one of these says aspartame. They wanted gum, but I had to only give them Lifesavers and Tic Tacs because they didn't have aspartame in it. And I said, why suddenly does 99% of the candy have aspartame in it, even when it's sugar gum? This is not sugarless. And some other guy starts laughing. And so I start preaching. I said, listen, as a human being, I'm supposed to talk to you. I'm supposed to warn you. I care about all of you. I want to warn you. And the guys are kind of getting comfortable, and they go, yeah, Alex, we appreciate it. Okay. And so I get the Tic Tacs, I get the bottled water, I get the Lifesavers, but then I saw the other side. Jason Burmas calls me as I'm walking out to tell me the DVDs had come in. And suddenly One person, two person, three people, a whole carload of high school kids. Alex Jones, we love you. Death and New World Order. All the cars. I mean, literally, it was just like 20 people. Alex Jones, we love you. So I was immersed in all these demons on the other side, the zombies, the mind slaves, the people that can't see what's going on and who were in this mode of tyranny and in this mode of laughing at someone who they overhear warning their children. As an adult, I'm supposed to talk to my kids. That's weird to them that I would, in the modern fields, as a hunter-gatherer, I come in with my credits to buy something and I'm saying, this is a poison plant, this one is a good plant. Now, a normal human 10,000 years ago would tell their young, do not eat the bunga berry. You may eat the chabunga berry. This is good in the autumn. How do you know the autumn? When the leaves fall, you may eat this fruit. Do not eat it before, or it is poison. It'd be like, my gosh, bunga bunga, why are you telling little chadunga and little mumba boomba, something's bad? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to talk to your kids.